I'm Watch Eric, and today we're going to be discussing the Patek Philippe 5990. Nautilus, Nautilus, Nautilus. That seems to be all you hear nowadays from guys that like watches or watch enthusiasts, you know. Feel like they have blown up on the scene the last 4 years and just everybody wants one, many people can't have one, and some of the people that want it just can't find it. I guess you pretty much just always want what you can't have. And now that the demand is up, it's even worse. But this 5990 is a watch that I personally have always liked. For me, I was quite surprised that by now, at this point, we haven't gotten it in all rose gold and replaced the beloved El Jefe 5980 in rose. I'm just quite surprised that they've held out this long and haven't come out with it yet in all rose. But thank God right now we have it in steel at least, knowing that the 5980 in steel is no longer in production. But before we get into all the talk about the price and all the crazy stuff, I want to talk to you a little bit about the watch. The first thing that you notice about the 5990 when you see it, believe it or not, is that it's a little bit bigger. From 10 to 4 o'clock diagonally, it's actually a 0.5 millimeter bigger, which actually adds some size to the case. Another thing is the thickness. It's a little bit thicker than the 5980. I'm gonna go ahead and say that for me, the 5980 is possibly the perfect dimensions for any watch, period. 5990 is a little bit bigger, but it's so little that it really doesn't bother me. It has a gradient black dial, which looks very nice. The only bone to pick that I have about it is the complication. Now, what does the 5990 have? Well, it's pretty much a chrono with a dual time zone. Pretty much a GMT. Couple buttons on the side here actuate the 12-hour hand, which I find a little bit annoying because I've been wearing this watch for a week and I feel that every now and then I look at the watch and I said, oh my God, it needs service. It's not keeping time. So for whatever reason, these buttons on the side are a little bit delicate. I don't know, when you put the watch down or something, it tends to just click and move over the hand. So I'm a little annoyed by that, although I do like the fact that it's hidden on the side and just keeps that general looking feel of the Henta Nautilus case. So the buttons are hidden and I do like that though. It has a local and home indicator square, which pretty much lights up in white and blue and tells you which time is what. And to be honest with you, for somebody that's not really a watch buff, it's a little complicated to understand. If you haven't subscribed to my new channel already, go ahead and hit that button and don't miss out on any of the new content. One of my only conflicts with this watch is the chrono. The reason is because the chrono only has a second hand and a 60-minute counter. I don't get it. Usually a chrono has hours, minutes, and seconds. I don't know why they didn't use the same exact function or complication that the 5980 has at the 6 o'clock register. I'm just not sure why they didn't use that one needle on top of another for both. Maybe they felt that the dial was gonna be way too busy. By the time you put that, then throw the calendar wheel at the 12 o'clock position, maybe they felt it was just gonna be way too busy. Because believe it or not, the 5990 dial is almost way too busy. That being said, I love this watch, don't get me wrong. I'm just being highly critical about it. I love the watch, I love the way it looks. I like the contrast of the sub-dial with the red needle on the 5980. I feel like at heart, that's the one that I really love the most. But there's nothing wrong with this 5990 and it's definitely the next level. So my overall thoughts about the Patek 5990 is that it's a stainless steel bully. This is a silent, stealthy, heavy hitter. I can't tell you how many times this week people that are friends of mine that are watch buffs as well, I'll be wearing maybe a jacket, they don't see it a lot, and all of a sudden it just comes out and they go, oh my God, you have a 5990 on. It's just that type of watch. It's not loud, it's very subtle, but it's definitely a powerful piece. And for me, that's one of my favorite things about this model. You know, definitely it's for who knows, knows, and who doesn't know, doesn't know. The Nautilus for me is always a watch that looks very classy, very elegant, and it's always gonna be a heavy piece. Even if the prices were to come down some, they're still gonna always be strong. I remember when the 5980 was $38,000, it was still considered so expensive past the stainless steel Daytona that it's always gonna be within that realm overall in the watch game. I've always said that Patek Philippe, if you compared it to cars, would be more of a Rolls Royce. More subtle, elegant, and definitely a gentleman's watch. This is not the watch you're gonna wear if you wanna be loud and shout out and call a lot of attention. Well, it depends on the circle that you're in. But it's definitely a true gentleman's watch. And if you want something that's gonna be stainless steel, a chrono, and a dual time, this is probably gonna be it right here. This is the top of the food chain, in my opinion, for that complication. Prices. Retail price for this 5990 right now today is $59,000 and like $140. I don't get these prices, but might as well just leave it $59,500 or straight $59,000. If you're planning to buy one right now in the secondary market, you're gonna be spending about $100,000 for this watch. 100, 105, depends on the date, all that. Retail, it's probably not gonna happen. You know, for those of you guys that feel that you can walk in and play the game at Rolex, it's not gonna happen at Patek Philippe. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna make you buy a grand complication to get one of these. So it's pretty much impossible. So is it worth almost double retail? When you put it into perspective that the Rolex Steel Daytona is going for double retail, then it pretty much kind of equals out and scales it all around. Right now, chronographs and stainless steel are going for double retail. That is, of course, if it's coming from one of the popular brands. So as far as the watch game goes, the 5990 is clearly a heavy hitter. I mean, not too many people justify the price. A lot of the die-hard Rolex guys will say, no way, I'd rather have 2 gold Rolexes, so on and so forth. It's just not justifiable for everybody. When you take this watch off and you feel it, it feels very light and almost delicate. I like it. When you put it on, it's probably the most comfortable watch I've ever worn in my life. And it's definitely something that says, I'm not f***ing around. I'm definitely thinking that in the near, very, very, very near future, I need a 5990 or a 5980 in steel in my collection. I just need the silent bully back. I need it. Not a 5711 though. I like them. They're very nice, very classic. It just is not for me. I don't like them. It's too plain, too thin, not into it. Comment below what you think about the Patek Philippe 5990 and if you like it better than the 5980. And if you like this video, like and share it. Also, subscribe to my new YouTube channel.